Morning all, welcome back. It's Tuesday morning, time is 20 to 10. I'm away up in the borders, heading east. I'm going back to that 160 high track that I serviced last week. It needs a pilot accumulator. So that's away on the east coast, and then from there I'm heading up through Edinburgh and out the other side, up north, to a DX27 that has got an oil leak. There's also a DX85 to service there as well. And then when I finish there, back down towards Carlisle, hopefully, if time allows, there's another DX27 and that needs a service. Lots to do today. On the subject of 27s, the pipes that we got organised that weren't correct on Monday, finally identified those at about 4:30 last night. It wasn't on the Doosan parts book, unfortunately, but we managed to find them in a Bobcat parts book. So with the help of Doosan Parts UK, we've got those bits ordered. They're coming from Germany. We'll probably get those this afternoon with it coming from Germany. So there was no point sitting around waiting for those. The machine's still operational because I put those two rubber pipes back on so you can still continue to use the machine. So we'll get that job done on Thursday hopefully, and tomorrow we've got a Volvo to go and see, so we'll see how we go at that. But try and get today out the way, lots to do, lots of ground to cover, so yeah, get our head down and crack on. So first job of the day, when I got here it was absolutely chucking it down, but it's come dry now. I'm going to replace this pilot accumulator. A lot of people comment or ask, why do I change them? What's the symptoms for to change them? Basically the accumulator, let's have a look here. I'll draw a diagram in the mud. You imagine when you're working the machine, you change direction. So you send the dipper arm out and then fetch it back in again. You get like a spike in pressure like that, and the job of the accumulator is to smoothen that spike in pressure so it acts like a cushion. So in the new accumulator, which is here, let's have a look, this one's a spherical shape. The ones on the loading shovels for the same idea as the loading shovel accumulators that I've changed before, for the boom suspension. You've got a rubber diaphragm inside here. This side takes the oil, and on this side it's charged with, I think it's nitrogen gas. Does it say on here? Pressurized vessel. Yeah, N2. So you've got so obviously gases compress and liquids don't. So the oil comes into here, pushes that diaphragm up, and it acts like a cushion, and that takes the peaks out of your pressures. It also stores a bit of pressure as well, which is why I tell you not to mess about with them, because I mean there's stickers all over it warning you not to mess about with it. So what this customer was saying was that he was struggling to get his auxiliary pipes on and off. Now what you do when you change your attachment, you would switch the machine off, raise the pilot lever and turn the ignition on. Don't start the machine, but turn the ignition on. And when you raise the pilot lever and rock your joysticks, the arm should sort of settle out with gravity. And what that is the stored pilot pressure is moving the spools inside the valve chest until that pressure is released. And so when you move the spools, it sort of equalises the pressure either side of your attachment or your ram or whatever. And he couldn't do it. So when I was up here servicing it the other day, we turned the ignition on, lifted the pilot lever, wobbled the levers, and it didn't really settle out. So I got one of them. But other symptoms that might point in the direction of the pilot accumulator: sharp jerky hydraulics or a slight vibration through the joysticks as well, I've had before as a complaint. So yeah, it does seem to be like it's quite a common thing, but I mean, if you imagine how much hammer these things are taking, you know, it's almost a disposable part, isn't it? Some accumulators you can get recharged if the gases do escape, and you know, that's kind of a risk you take, is removing the accumulator, recharging it. putting it back on and finding the fault still there because the diaphragm's split or something like that. So anyway, I'm gonna get this chucked on and continue with the road trip. Right, first jobbed. Point the van north now. I don't know how long it'll take to get there, but I'm about to find out. Right, next job, 2 for the price of 1. This one needs a 500-hour service, so I've just got the engine running on that just to warm it through while I have a look at an oil leak on that new Shape 27. This is the furthest north I've been on this channel. I used to do quite a lot of work up, well, I say quite a lot of work, maybe 2 or 3 times a year I'd get up as far as Aberdeen, but kind of HQ kind of covers that area now. There's more of us on the road, so yeah, certainly as far north as I've been all year with the job. Yeah, we're up over the Forth Road Bridge, or what's it called now? Can't remember what it's called now, but you drive across the King's Ferry Crossing, that's what it's called, up through Edinburgh and out the other side. So yeah, it's 1 o'clock-ish, and hopefully that oil leak's simple and this service won't take long. I've run this machine up, that appears to be the oil leak, doesn't it? So it is loose, must have somehow worked loose. So yeah, I'll pull that O-ring out and replace it. That'll be that. Good. Thought it was going to be something Jurassic. So yeah, I'll probably leave it at that. Change the O-ring. I'll come back to you if there's anything else amiss with it. Lovely job. Right, there's the O-ring. You can just see that damage there. So that's replaced. Parked that back where I got it from. 85 now. Service 500 hour. Have a look. Yeah, Tier 4 engine, so a bit like what we saw on Sunday's video, or Sunday's breakdown. That filter, that filter, that filter, them 2 filters, return filter, and in there is the pilot filter. Just realised it's a 2017 machine. Oh, thought it had only done 300 hours, 3,000-ish. I've got final drives draining, engine oil draining, and I'm just about to do the air filters while I wait for that to drain off. So I'll have a look. Which box is it? That one there. I need my knife. Quite a trick machine that, look. It's somebody's fitted a changeover valve on there, so you can change between your feed for your rotate, which would be your tilt, and an auxiliary service, look. So you might have a log grab with a rotator on, and then the tilty bit as well. Clever. Clever. Right, what was I doing? Air filters. Air filters. There we go. I'm also looking for an oil leak on this. He said he could smell hydraulic oil, but can't spot it, so I'll have a look. My feeling, I've spotted a belly plate that's damp. I'll show you. Just next to this one. That one there is damp. There's no other belly plate damp. So I'll just take that belly plate off, because underneath there's a regeneration valve which puts load on the pumps to heat the engine up. My goodness, look at the state of that filter. Good night. Definitely due a change when you look at this new one. Pulled the filter head off like we did on Sunday. Just had a look. If you look in that top, if you look at the top hole there, That's the hole that was completely block solid on Sunday. That one looks to be clear, so just need to place this filter. Look at the difference. Definitely overdue a service. This is all manky inside there as well. You see all that muck sunk to the bottom. I'll give that a swill out with my portable pressure washer. The fuel getting bled up now, no air left in it, so I'll put that pipe back onto there. Engine oil's in it, full engine service done, 2 filters to go. Right, that's that machine serviced. I've not been filming so much because as you can see, daylight is rather getting away on us. Just had a look, it's 3:10, so I want it to be done by 3, so we're not far off. But I had to put 15 litres hydraulic oil in it, top up the coolant, took our belly plate off underneath and I can't see any oil leaks. Whether that smells just a residual smell from a previous oil leak, I don't know, but yeah, it is what it is. Yeah, I'm just wanting to kind of get on, so I've not filmed as much as I probably could have and should have done, but there's plenty to go at it still. Right, 16 minutes past 3, that's the machine put back where I got it from. All levels present and correct. Like I say, I couldn't see any sign of a hydraulic oil leak on it, but I can tell you something, that gear oil absolutely stinks. You can smell it in here. Yeah, next job is 48 miles away, 1 hour and 11 minutes in the right direction. It'll get me there for 4:30. So that should have me finished for 5:30. 5:45, 6:45. Should be just over an hour after that to get home, 7 o'clock. I knew it'd be a long day today, but I was quite keen just to get everything sort of seen to, because I'm struggling for time this week. I am. Yeah, I've enough work on now to see us into next week, so it's just gone busy again all of a sudden. It has. Right, let's get on. Right, so this 27 is locked up and the lads are all away home for the day. But never mind, it's not been sort of too much out of my way. Well, it's only been 5 minutes off the way home, which is why I thought I'd peel in and try and get it serviced, but I'll have to catch it another day. I've just spoke to the customer and that's absolutely no bother, so no harm done. I did try my best. So yeah, right, I'm gonna head home. It'll be earlier than I expected, but it'll still be, what time are we on now? 4:30. Home is, let's see, come on sat nav, an hour away, so no harm done. I did my best. Right, I'll catch you in the morning and we'll go and look at a Volvo digger. Morning, Wednesday morning, and yeah, as I mentioned, I've got to go and look at a Volvo for a snapped track pin. Hopefully not a snapped track link. Customers ordered the parts, so I haven't seen the machine. We'll see what happens, won't we? Weather isn't fantastic. It's raining a lot. It's not particularly warm either. So yeah, what better weather to do tracks? Yeah, we'll go and have a look at it anyway. It's only half an hour away from base, so we'll see what we can do. If it goes as well as last week, when we joined that other track back together after putting that final drive on, then I think we will try and squeeze a service in as well, but we'll just see. So I'll see you when we get up to the forest, and we'll see what sort of a job this is going to be. Right, there's the machine to work on. As you can see, the weather isn't fantastic. just gonna have my breakfast. Connor's here. He came and helped us with that track motor job the other week. So problem is, if you're good at something, you have to you get all the good jobs, don't you? So I've managed to get him wrangled in. Yeah, I'm gonna have my breakfast and then we'll get a start. So we've got a broken pin on this track here. So we're gonna take these 2 track pads off and we can get the track pin press in and squeeze the, hopefully we'll squeeze the old pin and what's left of it out. A week or so ago, this operator wasn't on the machine, but the track came off away in the back of Beyond and did a forwarder here, and they'd lifted the track out and walked the machine out to the roadside, and they'd accidentally put the track on the wrong way around. So you can see which way these bolts are pointing, that way, and then look at this track here pointing that way. So when we get the track split, we'll have to pull the track out from underneath the machine, turn it around and then join it. I don't know whether it matters so much, to be honest, but it's best if they're both pointing in the same direction, so we're going to crack on with that. So yeah, we'll get the big bar out and take these pads off and get the track pin press ratchet out of here. Get some fittings put into there and we can work the pin press off the machine. There is a hand pump in there that you can pump up, and that will reach a higher pressure, the hand pump, than the machine will probably produce, but it's just easier, isn't it? So that's the plan anyway for today. This is what the track pin press looks like. You've got a big cylinder in here which pushes out this part through here, and we've got a selection of different dies for different track pins and yokes to go in here. So it's basically like a big G clamp, hydraulically driven, and the idea is it pushes the pin out. We put this block and tackle on so that we can sort of level it up, so it's going to push level, because otherwise if it's not level and you start to push, it'll spring off and jump up. So yeah, I know there was a couple of comments wanting to see that in more detail, so that's what it looks like. We'll get it hung on the end of the machine and we'll crack on in this weather. So this is what happens when the hydraulics of the machine won't move the pin. We're having to use the hand pump. So the machine hydraulics go up to 360 bar. We're currently pumping at 400 bar. We've just got it cracked, but it's a slow process, isn't it, Connor?
Oh.
So it's going though, slowly. You're literally just doing a millimetre at a time, so I'll put this down and I'll just shock these bits here with a hammer, and that should help it along. Right, there we go. That's what the old pin looks like. It's snapped like a carrot and both bits there, and that bit goes there. So I'll grab my arc welder, I'll just zip it all back together and we'll put the pin back in. No, I wouldn't do that. Definitely wouldn't trust my welding to do out like that. So what we're going to do next is put a chain on the top of the top pin, pull it out as he tracks forward, and we're basically going to track the machine off the chain, and then he'll screw the chain around so it's pointing the other way around, and then track back over it. That's how it's going to go, easy as that. Isn't it, Connor?
Eh?
Easy as that.
Aye, easy as that.
Honey, I need love. Won't you make it right?
So it is 38 minutes past 12. The track's almost back together, but not. We've got the new pin and whatnot to put in yet, but those things can be half-hour job or a 2-hour job. So while we're ahead, we'll have a bite to eat, take stock, come back to it with fresh eyes. It'll be absolutely fine. And the weather has dried up. The first 20 minutes of the job, it was pouring down. It's cleared out and it's dry, so yeah, couldn't ask for more really. So right, I'll have a sandwich and we'll put this track back together. Right, we're all rested. Join this track back together. Just got that bar through at the moment. We'll offer it up and hope for the best.
I'll give it to you if you give it to me. I'll give it to you if you give it to me.
Honey, I need love.
Right, that's the track back together. Just pumped it up, so job's a good one. Volvo, hey, who'd have thought it? I think it's early enough in the day still. There's a service about 10 mile that direction that's on my list of jobs to do, so I put the filters in the van this morning. Might as well go and get it, and that's one less job to do, because like I say, I've got enough until middle of next week, so I can get that done. It's one off the list. Yeah, I've just got the track pin pressed to tidy up. It's gone together nicely again, so yeah, happy days. So that wasn't the digger that I had in mind that I was going to service. The one that I was going to service, which was 10 mile away from that Volvo, it was busy, so I couldn't get that. So that 140 LCR has done 7,000 hours, so it was a 1,000-hour service. Believe it or not, that machine is still on its original set of tracks, 7,000 hours, which is remarkable. Granted, they are getting changed at Christmas time, the driver was telling us. But yeah, I don't think it's hardly had a spanner to it. It had a knock sensor at about 1,500 hours, I think, somewhere around there. But other than that, it's been absolutely faultless, and it's had the same driver on it right from the very start. So I think there's a lot to be said about one man for one machine. I think they're sort of generally, as a rule of thumb, looked after a bit better. So yeah, right, I'm gonna call it a day. It's 5 o'clock now. I feel like the last couple of days has been pretty productive. Got 5 jobs ticked off the list. Still plenty more to do. Tomorrow we'll be back down South Cumbria to get that little mini digger hitch sorted out. So yeah, we'll see you tomorrow. Thanks for watching. If you don't mind, give it a little subscribe if you haven't already, and if you've enjoyed the video, give it a like as well. I mean, surely me having to work on a Volvo digger is worth a like. Right, see you tomorrow.